Welcome to your night flight to a relaxed tomorrow. Fasten nothing, lean back, let go. This is your captain, Jennifer speaking. Let's travel through the night to a new day full of new possibilities. Welcome. This is Night Flight Stories, a place for the quiet hours when the world slows down and the night takes over. It is just after 2 a.m. The terminal is calm. The crowds are gone. The lights remain on. Somewhere down the concourse, gate 47 waits. No boarding call, no announcements. Just the soft hum of the airport breathing. This is the shift you never see, when cleaners move gently through empty halls, when cargo travels quietly beneath your feet, when kitchens prepare tomorrow's first coffee, and the airport keeps watch while the world sleeps. You don't need to go anywhere. There's no flight to catch right now, no schedule to follow. Just settle in and let the night carry you. This story moves slowly. Nothing unexpected will happen. You are safe here. Welcome to Gate 47. Welcome to Night Flight Stories. At exactly 2:13 a.m., the airport exhales. It doesn't shut down, it doesn't fall asleep. It simply changes its breathing. The last cluster of evening passengers has already dissolved, pulled into taxis, hotel shuttles, quiet terminals, or the soft anonymity of night roads. The automatic doors slide open less often now. When they do, the sound feels louder than it did during the day, as if the building is more aware of itself now. Gate 47 sits halfway down the concourse. Not special, not important, just present. Its seats are empty, aligned neatly in rows that reflect the overhead lights like still water. The information screen glows calmly. No boarding calls, no urgency, just a soft blue background holding space. Somewhere above, the ventilation hums with the consistency of a lullaby. Not loud enough to demand attention, not quiet enough to disappear. This is the hour when the airport belongs to the people who know it best, the ones who move through it without being seen. The staff that is on the night shift. The cleaning crew. The first to arrive at Gate 47 tonight is the cleaning crew. They don't rush. They never do at this hour. Their carts roll softly across the floor, wheels coated in rubber to avoid echoes. Bottles are arranged with care. Cloth folded with a kind of respect that comes from repetition. Each person knows exactly which section belongs to them. No words exchanged, just small nods and gentle awareness. One cleaner begins with the windows. They wipe slowly, methodically, following the height of the glass from left to right. Outside, the runway lights shimmer like distant stars reflected on dark water. Each stroke removes fingerprints and traces of hurried goodbyes and tired foreheads pressed briefly against the glass. Another cleaner moves through the seating area, seat by seat, armrest by armrest. There is no judgment here, no frustration about crumbs or forgotten wrappers. Everything is simply part of the cycle. A banana peel from a child who fell asleep before boarding, a folded napkin left behind by someone who didn't want to throw it away, a boarding pass dropped accidentally, already outdated, already belonging to the past. The floor machine hums to life, low, steady, almost musical. It moves in long, graceful lines, polishing the surface until the light stretched across it uninterrupted. The motion is hypnotic, back and forth, forward and turn. A slow choreography practiced thousands of times, performed without thinking, like breathing. At gate 47, the air begins to feel lighter, clearer, as if the space itself is being tucked in for the night. The cargo movement. Far below the passenger level in corridors most travelers never see, cargo begins its quiet migration. Metal doors slide open with controlled precision. Pallets are secured. Containers checked twice. Nothing here is loud, despite the weight of it all. Everything heavy moves gently at night. Electric tugs glide through marked paths, their warning lights muted to a soft amber glow. Drivers sit upright, relaxed, focused, not hurried, not distracted. They've learned to read the airport's body language. They know when to pause, when to proceed, when to wait. Cargo at night is different. It isn't rushed by connections or impatient crowds. It flows. Fresh produce arrives in temperature-controlled containers, boxes of fruit that still carry the scent of orchards and soil. Lettuce wrapped carefully to preserve crispness. Tomatoes packed as if they were fragile glass. Somewhere nearby, a pallet of bread is unloaded. The smell escapes almost immediately. Warm crust, something familiar and grounding. It drifts upwards through the service elevators and hidden shafts, mixing with the sterile cleanliness of the terminal above. Gate 47 doesn't know where the bread came from. It doesn't need to. The airport simply accepts what arrives. Restaurants preparing for morning. Behind shuttered counters and darkened menu boards, the restaurants wake up quietly. not fully awake, just steering. A single overhead light clicks on inside a cafe near gate 47. A staff member ties their apron slowly, stretching their shoulders before beginning. The refrigerator doors open. Fresh deliveries are unpacked with care. Milk is rotated forward. Fruit placed gently into containers. Pastries arranged so they look effortless later. Nothing is hurried. There's a rhythm to stocking shelves at night. Each item has a place. Each movement is intentional. The absence of customers creates a kind of intimacy between the worker and the space. They know which drawer sticks slightly, which encounter wobbles, unless nudged just right. Coffee machines are cleaned thoroughly now while the world sleeps. Filters removed, surfaces wiped, grinders checked. By morning, everything will appear ready without effort. No sign of the care taken at this hour. At gate 47, the scent of coffee hasn't arrived yet, but the promise of it has. Security on patrol. A pair of security officers walk past gate 47. Their footsteps are measured, even, shoes designed to absorb sound. Their radios rest quietly against their shoulders, volume low. They are not scanning for danger so much as confirming calm. They glance at doors, at corners, at reflections in glass. They don't need to speak. They know this section well. Gate 47 is always peaceful at night. Still, they pause for a moment. One officer checks the gate equipment. No loose cables, no unattended items, nothing out of place here. The other looks down the concourse, watching the perspective stretch into distance, lights repeating at even intervals. All is well. They continue walking, presence felt even after they've passed. Firefighters' routine check. Somewhere on the airfield, airport firefighters perform their nightly checks. The trucks are massive, but they move with restraint. Engines pour instead of roar. Equipment is inspected carefully. Hoses, gadgets, lights. Nothing dramatic, nothing alarming, just readiness. A firefighter runs a hand along the side of the vehicle, feeling for vibration, listening for irregularities. Another checks pressure levels, nodding to themselves. Preparedness at night feels different. Less about reaction, more about quiet assurance. They know most nights pass without incident. That's the goal. Gate 47 remains untouched by any of this, but protected by it all the same. The pace of night. By now, the terminal has settled fully into its nocturnal rhythm. Lights remain on, but softer, reflected. Dimmed just enough to be kind to tired eyes. Nothing goes completely dark. That would feel wrong, unsafe. Airports don't sleep. They stand watch. The temperature stabilizes. Air flows evenly. Announcements have stopped. Gate 47 feels like a paused moment in time now. A place between departures and arrivals. Between yesterday and tomorrow. Somewhere in the distance, a floor buffer hums, a cart rolls. A door opens and closes gently, each sound spaced out, never overlapping, never competing. The airport isn't empty, it's simply unoccupied. And at 2:47 a.m., Gate 47 waits. Not for a flight, not for passengers, just holding space. At 2:58 a.m., the airport is fully in its night skin. Not empty, not silent, just tuned to a lower frequency. There's a particular kind of quiet that only exists in places built for crowds. When the crowds are gone and the architecture is finally allowed to speak in its own voice. The ceiling feels higher. The long lines of light feel more deliberate. Even the glass seems calmer, as if it's no longer performing transparency for anyone, and can simply be what it is, a boundary between inside and outside, warmth and cold, human schedules, and the steady patience of the sky. Gate 47 sits beneath its glowing sign like a small island of order. The seats are aligned. The floor is polished. The boarding lane ropes rest in neat curves, waiting for hands to guide them later. And around it, unseen corridors beneath, doors open and close gently. Elevators rise with soft mechanical sights. Somewhere far enough away that it becomes soothing rather than startling, a rolling cart clicks over a tiny gap in the tile, a small reminder that the airport still has bones and joints and moving parts. At this hour, everything is still working, just without urgency. The night shift coordinator. In a room that most passengers will never notice, a night operations coordinator watches the airport's heartbeat. The room isn't dramatic. No blaring alarms, no frantic phone calls, no movie-like tension. Just a wall of screens, each one quietly alive. Gates, cameras, weather overlays, runway statues, service vehicle movements, maintenance logs, staffing notes, delayed cargo, early arrivals. The subtle ballet of a system designed to keep moving even when no one is looking. The coordinator sits with a warm drink, tea maybe, or coffee that has long since cooled, and a posture that says, "I've done this many nights before." Their eyes move slowly, not scanning for disaster, but confirming continuity. A green light here, a checklist there, a note marked complete. They know what normal looks like. Normal at night is a different creature than normal in daylight. At night, normal is the airport's quiet confidence. The coordinator glances at the gate map. Gate 47 is calm. A small rectangle on the screen, unassigned, dormant, and yet never truly inactive. It's a space in the building's mind, waiting its turn, holding a place in the story. The coordinator makes a note, not because anything is wrong, just because night shift workers notice everything. They notice the way a camera angle is slightly off, the way an escalator sounds a little more tired than yesterday, the way a light flickers once, twice, then steadiness again. They notice. And noticing is its own form of care. The escalators and the soft mechanics of night. Near gate 47, an escalator continues moving up, down, carrying no one. It's almost funny, in a gentle way, how dedicated it is, how faithful. The steps rise and fall like slow waves. If you watch long enough, it becomes hypnotic. The airport is full of these things, machines doing their jobs without being asked, without being thanked, without ever being seen by the people who benefit most from them. Lights that guide, sensors that detect, doors that open at the right time. At night, you can hear the tiny sounds of these systems. The soft click of relays, the distant hum of a motor, the whisper of air flowing through vents, the gentle strain of something lifting, lowering, circulating. The airport is a body, and at 3 a.m., its body is resting, but still alive. The maintenance worker. A maintenance worker appears down the concourse with a small toolkit. They are not here for a big repair, nothing dramatic, just the little things that daylight never leaves time for. They pause at a wall outlet near gate 47, testing it quietly. They check a small panel. They look up at a ceiling tile, making sure it sits flush. They tighten something no one will ever notice, and in that simple act, they improve tomorrow. Maintenance work at night feels like caring for the world while it sleeps. A small kindness, a tightening of a loose hinge, a replacement of a flickering bulb, a check of a door seal that whistles slightly when the air pressure shifts. They walk slowly, not because they are tired, but because there's time to be precise. They know the airport looks effortless when it works well, but effortless is built night after night. Stocking the airport's morning. In the service corridors behind the shops, the airport is being prepared like a stage before a performance. A delivery cart rolls past with boxes of bottled water, another with packaged sandwiches, another with fresh fruit. There's a quiet choreography here. One worker checks a list with a pen that taps lightly against paper. Another worker scans barcodes in a rhythm that becomes soothing. Boxes are opened carefully so the cardboard doesn't tear too loudly. Plastic is folded and tucked away. Food is arranged with a kind of gentle respect, because morning travelers will be hungry, and hunger can make people fragile, even if they don't realize it. There's comfort in being able to buy something warm and simple at an airport: a coffee, a croissant, a bowl of fruit. At 3 a.m., those comforts are being quietly assembled. A kitchen worker checks the temperature of a fridge, nodding as if reassuring themselves. Yes, all is safe, all is stable, all is ready. And somewhere the first batch of bread is being moved into place, the scent drifting upward like a secret. The airport is a safe space. Gate 47 remains quiet, but isn't lonely. The airport, even at night, has a certain feeling of safety. It's bright, it's monitored, it's designed to be navigatable. The lights never go out, because the airport is built for the idea that someone might need it at any moment. Someone might arrive late, someone might be connecting, someone might be lost, someone might be working, someone might be awake at 3 a.m. with their own private reasons. In the far end, the terminal, a single traveler sits quietly with a hoodie pulled up, leaning on a backpack. Not asleep, not alert, just hovering in that in-between state where the body rests, but the mind still listens. They aren't near Gate 47, but their presence adds to the atmosphere. Because night airports always have a few souls like that, people floating between destinations, between time zones, between chapters of their lives. The airport holds them without asking questions. Security second pass. The security officers return for another quiet sweep. They don't move like they are searching for trouble. They move like they are tending a lighthouse. A steady presence. They check gate doors, emergency exits, quiet corners where shadows gather. They glance at a reflection in glass and polished floors. They pause briefly at Gate 47 again, almost like paying respect to a calm place. One officer adjusts a rope, straightening it. A small gesture, but it changes the feeling of the space. It's a reminder that order matters. Order is calming. Order tells the nervous system, you are safe. You are held. Everything is in place. They keep walking. Their footsteps fade. And gate 47 continues to glow, patient and steady. The firefighters' calm routine. Out on the airfield, the airport, firefighters drive a slow loop, not because they expect an emergency, but because preparedness is an act of love. Their lights are not flashing, no sirens, just the heavy, quiet roll of a vehicle built for power, moving with gentleness. They check hydrants, they check access points, they check routes. The night air carries the smell of fuel and cold metal. The runway lights stretch into distance, unwavering. The firefighters stop briefly, step out, and look across the field. There is something meditative about that view. The open space, the structured lines of paint, the steady glow of guidance lights, the vastness beyond. They stand there for a moment, breathing. Then they get back in and continue their loop. The airport remains safe. The ramp at night. Below the terminal, the ramp is quieter than it was, but still active. Ground crew move with flashlights and reflective stripes. They don't shout the way they might during busy hours. They use gestures, they use routine, they use familiarity. A belt loader is parked neatly. A tack is positioned precisely as if aligned by instinct. Someone checks a cone placement. Another worker walks around a vehicle, tapping a tire with a practiced motion, listening to the sound. Night ramp work is its own world. The air is colder. The sounds are sharper. A distant engine start. A metal latch clicking. The soft beep of a reversing vehicle. But even those sounds feel spaced out, respectful of the quiet. A plane sits at a remote stand, resting like a sleeping animal, massive, still waiting for morning. And the people on the ramp move around it like caretakers. They don't touch it with reference exactly, but with competence. They know this is a machine that carries human lives. It deserves attention. It deserves care. Gate 47 and the feeling of waiting. Back inside, Gate 47 remains unchanged on the surface, but something subtle shifts in the atmosphere at night. The feeling of waiting becomes gentler. During the day, waiting at an airport can feel tense People watching clocks, gripping passports, checking screens, fearing delays. At 3:21 a.m., waiting is softer. It's not a fight against time, it's an acceptance of it. Gate 47 feels like a place where time slows down on purpose, where the mind can loosen its grip, where you can sit and let go your thoughts drift without needing to chase them. The chairs look more inviting in this night. The long corridor feels less like a route and more like a quiet shoreline, lights repeating like calm waves. Even the gate screen, glowing blankly, feels like a kind of reassurance. Nothing is required of you right now. You are allowed to rest. The invisible workers. There are people working right now who most travelers will never see. Someone in a back office processing paperwork. Someone in a storage room counting inventory. Someone cleaning restrooms with quiet dedication. Someone monitoring alarms and sensors. Someone preparing wheelchairs for morning passengers who will need them. Someone checking lost and found logs, hoping they can reunite a person with their forgotten item. These workers are the airport's quiet spine. The building stands tall because they keep it steady. And while Gate 47 waits, these people keep the lights on, not just literally, but emotionally. Because an airport at night can feel strange, but a well-run airport at night feels like a cradle. Bright enough to feel safe, quiet enough to feel peaceful, structured enough to calm the nervous system. The sound of the airport breathing. If you listen closely, really closely, you can hear the airport breathing. The ventilation is the inhale and exhale. The occasional distant rolling cart is a heartbeat. The hum of power is a steady nervous system regulation. Everything stable, everything controlled, everything safe. The building is not a chaotic place at night. It's a regulated place, a calm system, a rhythm. And Gate 47 is one of the most peaceful points within that rhythm. A pocket of calm where nothing is demanded, only allowed. A soft moment of human kindness. Near Gate 47, a cleaner pauses. They stand still for a moment, hands resting on their cart, looking out through the glass. Outside, the runway lights glow like a necklace of small moons. The cleaner's shoulders drop slightly, as if the quiet has reached inside them. Maybe they think about home, maybe they think about morning, maybe they think about nothing at all. Some moments don't need meaning to be comforting. The cleaner turns back to their work. They adjust the chair by a few centimeters so it aligns perfectly with the row. And then they continue down the concourse, leaving Gate 47, looking gently cared for, like someone has smoothed the blankets on her bed. Approaching the deepest quiet. By 3:54 a.m., the airport reaches its deepest quiet. Not because everything stops, not because everything sinks. The cleaning crew are finishing their routes, the restaurants have been stocked, security has made their rounds, maintenance has checked the small hinges of tomorrow. The ramp continues its slow, steady movement, and Gate 47 sits at the center of it all, calm and illuminated. The lights never go out, because the airport is built for movement, but it is also built for holding schedules, holding people, holding journeys, holding the night. And if you imagine yourself sitting at Gate 47 now, you might feel it, that you don't have to do anything, you don't have to go anywhere. You can simply rest inside this steady glow. Let the quiet surround you. Let the airport do what it does best. Keep everything running softly, safely, while you drift to sleep. By 4 a.m., the airport has settled into its deepest, most intimate rhythm. This is the hour few people ever see. Not late enough to feel dramatic, not early enough to feel hopeful. It is simply the heart of the night. The time when the building no longer reacts to the world, but exists within itself. Gate 47 remains illuminated, its sign glowing steadily above the empty seating area. The light is not harsh, it has softened over the hours, filtered through polished floors and glass surfaces, reflected gently back into the space. The shadows are smooth now, stretched and calm, resting where they've chosen to rest. Nothing feels unfinished. Nothing feels rushed. The airport is exactly where it needs to be. The deep night crew. Most of the visible work is done now. The cleaning carts have rolled away. The restaurants are stocked and ready. Maintenance notes are locked. Security patrols continue, but farther apart. What remains is the deep night crew, the smallest group of people who keep watch while most of the world sleeps. A single operations controller sits in their chair, posture relaxed, eyes moving slowly from screen to screen. The glow from the monitors paints their face in soft blues and greens. Every system reports steady. No alerts, no changes. They sip from their cup, not because they need caffeine anymore, but because the warmth is comforting. In another part of the terminal, a cleaner finishes their final section, switching off one overhead light after another inside a closed shop. Each click feels like a quiet goodnight. A security officer leans briefly against the railing, stretching their back, then resumes walking, footsteps echoing softly, never sharp, never urgent. The airport does not feel guarded, it feels watched over. Gate 47 as a place of holding. Gate 47 has not moved all night, and yet it has done important work. It has held space, held the echo of footsteps that passed through earlier, held the scent of cleaning solution and distant coffee, held the soft hum of systems regulating temperature and air, held the feeling of readiness without expectation. During the day, gates are defined by action, boarding, announcements, crowds. At night, Gate 47 is defined by presence. It is a place where nothing is demanded, a place that exists without needing to prove its usefulness. There is something deeply comforting about that. To exist without urgency, to be ready but not required. The airfield before dawn. Outside the glass, the sky begins its slow, almost imperceptible shift. Not light yet, just less dark. The runway lights continue their steady glow, unchanging, unwavering. They do not react to the coming morning, they simply remain available. On the ramp, movement has slowed even further. A ground vehicle passes at a distance, light dimmed. A single aircraft sits at a remote stand, its shape barely distinguishable against the night, a quiet presence resting on its landing gear. Someone on the ramp pauses for a moment, hands in pockets, breath visible in the cold air. They look up, not searching, just acknowledging the sky. Then they return to their work. The airport nervous system. The airport's nervous system continue their gentle regulation. Temperature remains steady, air flows evenly, power hums at a constant frequency. Everything is designed to avoid surprise. This is what makes airports so calming at night. They are engineered to reduce uncertainty. Even when you don't consciously notice it, your body does. Your nervous system recognizes the consistency, the even lighting, the predictable layout, the absence of sudden noise. Gate 47 sits inside that regulation like a calm node in a network of calm. If you imagine yourself there now, sitting in one of the empty chairs, you might notice how your shoulders drop without being told to, how your breath naturally slows, how your thoughts begin to stretch out, losing their sharp edges. The airport doesn't ask you to relax. It simply creates the conditions where relaxation happens on its own. A few remaining travelers. Somewhere in the terminal, a few travelers still linger. A person asleep across two seats, jacket pulled up, face relaxed in the kind of sleep that only comes from exhaustion. A couple sitting quietly together, whispering occasionally, sharing headphones, waiting for an early connection. A solo traveler walking slowly, pulling a small suitcase, footsteps echoing gently, unbothered by the emptiness. They pass near gate 47. None of them stop, but each of them benefits from its calm, because calm is contagious. And gate 47 has been cultivating it all night. The lights that never go out. The airport's lights remain on, not fully bright, not dimmed into darkness, just enough. They are a promise that no matter the hour, this place remains functional, welcoming, safe. The lights reflect off the floor, creating soft pathways of brightness that guide without pushing. They illuminate exits, signs, and corridors with a kind of quiet confidence. Not flashing, no drama, just presence. And in that steady glow, it becomes easier to trust the night. The last checks. A final quiet check passes through the system. A screen refreshes. A lock updates. A door sensor reports closed. Everything is exactly as it should be. The operations controller leans back slightly, satisfied, not because something was accomplished, but because nothing went wrong in this night. That is the success of the night shift workers. To carry the airport through the hours when most people are unaware it exists. To deliver it intact to the morning. Gate 47 and the approach of morning. At 4:45 a.m., there's a subtle change. Not noise, not movement, just intention. The airport begins to prepare for transition. A few more lights come on in distant sections. A coffee machine warms quietly. A distant announcement system hums as it tests its voice. Gate 47 remains unchanged. Still calm, still empty, still ready. Soon it will host movement again, but not yet. Right now, it is still night. A place to rest. If you imagine sitting at gate 47 now, you might feel as if the airport itself is watching over you. The walls are solid, the lights are steady, the systems are regulated. Nothing unexpected will happen. You don't need to listen for anything. You don't need to prepare. You can let your awareness soften. Let your thoughts drift. Let the sound of ventilation blend with the distant hum of power into a single soothing tone, like white noise, like ocean waves, like the inside of an airplane cabin once the lights dim and the engines settle into cruise. The night completing its work. The night has done what it needed to do. It has cleaned, it has stocked, It has checked, it has prepared. It has held space for those who needed a place to exist quietly. Gate 47 has been part of that work, not through action, but through steadiness, through being a calm point in a large, complex system, through remaining available without being used. That is its gift. A gentle landing into rest. As the night slowly loosens its grip and morning begins its approach, Gate 47 remains calm. And if you are listening now, you don't need to follow the airport into its next phase. You are allowed to stay here in this moment, in this quiet, where the lights never go out, where nothing is required, where everything is steady and stable. Let the airport continue its work with you. Let Gate 47 hold the space for you, and allow yourself to drift slowly, gently into rest. You have arrived, not at a destination on a map, but at a quieter place inside yourself. The lights remain on, just soft enough to feel safe. The engines hum steadily, holding you in a smooth, even rhythm. Nothing is required of you now. No plans, no thoughts, no movement. Everything that needed to be done has already been taken care of. The night continues its work for you. You can rest, you can sleep. Breathe slowly and let the sound of the journey carry you deeper into comfort. If sleep comes, let it come naturally. If you are still listening, that's perfectly fine too. This journey has no schedule, no expectations, no urgency. You are exactly where you need to be. Thank you for spending the night with us. This has been Night Flight Stories, and we'll remain quietly with you until morning. Good night.